Hi guys, Kevin Lee Jacobs here. Today I'm going to show you how to make an olive oil cake. It's not too sweet, it's loaded with citrus, and it's delicious for breakfast or any time. So let's get started. So first things first, preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Not convection, just regular. Then grab a 9-inch cake pan, and I'm using a springform pan, but you don't have to. You can use a regular pan. And you will also need a sheet of parchment paper cut out to fit the pan. And what we do is pour a little glug of olive oil in the pan and brush it around the bottom and the sides. Insert the cutout parchment, press it down, and then add a little more olive oil and brush that over the parchment. Then we whisk up the dry ingredients, starting with cake flour. I'm using 2 cups. If you don't have cake flour on hand, feel free to use all-purpose flour. Cake flour is made from a very soft flour, so it works really well with cakes. And that's 2 cups. And whisk in a 1/3 cup of almond flour. And 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1, 2, and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, which I keep in a plastic airtight tub, and a 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt. I'm going to add a little bit more than 1/2 teaspoon. I like cake that has a little salty kick to it. Whisk all of the dry ingredients really well. Then measure out 1 1/4 cups of olive oil. It can be extra virgin or any kind of olive oil you like. Set the olive oil aside for just a moment. Then zest a large navel orange. I love the smell of orange zest. Cut the orange in half and squeeze the juice into a small bowl. You'll need about 3 tablespoons of juice. And 1 large navel orange, when hand squeezed, should give you that amount. To the orange juice, add my favorite thing, 3 tablespoons of Grand Marnier. Grand Marnier is an orange liqueur. 1, 2, 3. Then add exactly 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. 1, 2. Now break 3 large eggs into a large mixing bowl. If you're going to use handheld beaters, use a large mixing bowl. Otherwise, use your stand mixer with the whisk attachment attached. Add 1 cup of sugar. That's just regular granulated sugar. And that beautiful, fragrant, irresistible orange zest. You got all of it in there. Then turn the mixer, whether you're doing it by hand or by stand mixer. I got orange zest all over my beautiful blue mixer. Beat the eggs and the zest and the sugar at high speed for about 3 minutes. With the mixer still running at high speed, slowly add the 1 1/4 cups of olive oil. This is kind of like making mayonnaise. Ta-da! Let's have a look at this. Oh, perfection. And it smells really wonderful. Turn the mixer on to low speed and then add about a third of the dry ingredients and alternate the dry with that wonderful Grand Marnier mixture. Just a splash, about half. Then add another third or so. I think I better use a measuring cup to add this. Be a little neater. There we go. And another, or the remainder of the Grand Marnier mixture. And then finish with the remaining dry ingredients. There we go. And you just mix this until the dry ingredients are incorporated. And that's it. Now I'm going to grab my spatula. Where are you, spatula? Here you are. And I'm going to scrape down the bowl. And then I want to show you what the batter looks like. It drops in these nice thick ribbons. And that is a good cake batter. If you're using a springform cake pan, be sure to set the pan on a baking sheet, just in case there's any spillage. If you're using a regular cake pan, you don't need the baking sheet. Then add this luscious batter to the pan. You can top the batter with a spoonful of sugar, but you certainly don't have to. I think I'm going to add some to mine. Makes the top caramelize a little bit. This goes into the preheated oven on the center rack for about an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes. You'll know the cake is done when it has puffed and the top turns golden brown and a skewer inserted in the center comes out clean. So I'll put this into the oven and show you the next step. And here's the cake, all baked and beautiful. I actually let mine cool on a wire rack for 15 minutes. You should do the same. And take a knife and run it between the edge of the cake and the edge of the pan as insurance to help it unmold. Of course, this only applies if you're using a springform pan. The unmolding. Oops. That was quick. Release the cake from its springform pan. Now, what you're supposed to do with an olive oil cake is when it cools, wrap it in plastic wrap and just let it sit overnight or for 24 hours or even for 4 days, because the flavors will really mingle and the texture will improve. I'm not going to wait because I'm hungry. What I will do is remove the base of the springform pan along with that disc of parchment paper. There you go. And then I'm going to give it a dusting with confectioner's sugar. It's nothing like a little snow to top off an olive oil cake. And your counter. Time to cut a slice. We can put this on a plate and maybe add some fresh sliced strawberries. Let me grab a fork. It's orangey, moist, and the upper crust has a nice crispness to it. So give this olive oil cake a try. Sorry, I'm still chewing. Give this olive oil cake a try and let me know how it turns out for you. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.